How's everybody? Okay, so once again, if you have never seen me or whatever, my name is Pepsy Garcia. I'm here in the city of Santa Fe Springs, California. It is, like I said earlier, it is raining, so the humidity is a little high here. I'm not good at feeling the humidity, but my daughter is. So she was telling me, Mom, it's really humid. So how can I see the live on here so I can see the questions? All right, so we're going to get started. Today's recipe calls for, and we're going to do the banana Italian method macarons. It's 112 grams of almond flour. Okay, so I'm going to read it. I guess you can just go here. No? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go through the ingredients and also talk about the ingredients as we go. Okay? So, almond flour. When you purchase almond flour, you want it to be clean. You want it to be all white. I can't hear. Somebody's saying I can't hear. Is it me? Let me know if anybody else can hear me. I don't like the way this one looks. This is YouTube. Can anybody hear me or? Okay. All right. Just making sure. All right. So almond flour. You want to go where you want to purchase the one that you don't see the shells in. Okay, you don't want to see the shells inside it when you're purchasing it. So yesterday I put on my story. This one is from Aldi. It was like $4 and some change for 1 pound, and 1 pound should get you about 3 or 4 recipes, give or take. So that's a good price, right? And this is California, so I don't know. In other locations, it may be cheaper, it might be more expensive. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Okay. Here I have a big bag. This is 3 pounds, and it's from Sam's Club. Okay, and this is about $13. Okay, at Sam's Club here again in California. Okay. So today's recipe, I'm actually using this because I was trying it out yesterday, and I just had a little bit more left, so I just finished the bag. I still have Sam's Club. But we're going to put that here for now. It calls for 118 grams of powdered sugar. Okay, so let me bring this over here because I don't want to go in. Okay, if you've ever seen my lives before or what have you, I always say that I like Winco's powdered sugar, and the only reason I like Winco's powdered sugar is because they come in 1 pound bags. I can hear you. Yeah, okay. But I wanted to see the comments here. Okay, in 1 pound bags. That's the only reason I like Winco's powdered sugar. It's not the texture. It's nothing special. In my opinion, powdered sugar is sugar with cornstarch, granulated super fine. Okay, so just so you know a little bit of that. Okay, then we're asking for 90 grams of aged egg whites.
Which one's Instagram?
The top one. Okay, so aged egg whites. If you Google it, I can even ask my friend Alexa, aged egg whites really is you separate the eggs.
Hold on.
The egg yolks. What's happening?
Oh. Someone said it was blurry. I was going to try to fix it, but...
Is it?
Said it was clear now.
Okay. So, aged egg whites is you separate the egg white from the yolks, and then you let them sit in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. Okay. I'll be honest with you, I did not do that. What I did is I have my eggs at room temperature, and I separate them, and they are ready for me here now. As long as they're at room temperature, you should be fine. So that's what aged egg whites are. Unless you want to go for it, take it and run. Let me know if you feel if there's a difference in your macarons when everything's done. Okay, cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is an agent.
They're just saying it was a little blurry.
I just feel like that one's way too high.
It could be the phone too.
Okay, so cream of tartar is an agent. It's like a stabilizing agent. If you don't have cream of tartar, again, I purchased this at Aldi yesterday. It was like $1.49. That is actually cheapest I've seen it. The other place that I've seen it was fairly a good price, was Smart and Final. Other than that, they usually run about $4 or $5 or so for the same size. But if you don't have cream of tartar, that's fine. You can use a little bit of granulated sugar, which also acts like an agent in your egg whites. Okay? Next is granulated sugar. Okay? Granulated sugar. I buy C&H. I always buy C&H for some reason, the pink one, right? It's finer to me. It's not as thick as others. I do buy in bulk, so I don't have a bag to show you. I buy in bulk and I have them in big, Malia,
It's really blurry.
is it? Can we try to fix it?
Look.
Okay.
Do you want to use my phone?
Well, then I'm gonna have to log out and come back in, which is it.
You can't like focus it during the live.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's swap them. I'm gonna pause for a second. I'll save this one and download. Sorry. Just put it up there and just start it over. Okay. So granulated sugar again.
I'm gonna be blocking everybody. Hold on.
Oh, it's not recording.
No.
Start it.
Sorry, YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. That one's dull. Can you put it brighter?
It's my brightness. I always have it low.
Okay. So granulated sugar again. I purchased it in bulk, like I was saying, because I use it. Sorry, we changed devices, so I hope this works for you guys. All right. Now, because I use it so much for my weekly orders, granulated sugar, you can just buy whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure it's white. It's not the brown sugar. It's not, how do I say it? It's not like, raw sugar, what have you. You want to go with bleached white sugar. Regular granulated is fine. Okay? The next item is water. Okay? So, macarons are a little, like, how do I say it? Fidgety. If you don't get it right, it's like you mess it up, you have to try again, don't worry about it. So in order to keep the water agent uniform, I would go with bottled water, okay? Filtered water. Make sure you use the same water all the time. If you use sink water, faucet water or what have you, in different locations, it's different. Every city has their own type of water filtration or what have you. Some places are cleaner than others. But bottled water, they should all be uniform. So I use bottled water. All right. Then the flavoring. Okay. So for the flavoring, today we're going to be using banana flavor. Okay. Today I'm going to be using this banana flavor. You don't need to use this. You can use vanilla extract, vanilla bean. This is just a different, I guess, how do I say it? Like another option that's welcome to your kitchen, right? So today we're going to use banana flavor, okay? It's a powder and it's also colored, okay? So it's colored. And we, in our online store, we offer banana. We offer a large variety of vanilla flavors that have coloring in them. And then we also have different flavors like coffee. Coffee is not brown. I made some coffees. I have them here. I made some so we could talk about issues that go on, all right? We have coffee. We have cocoa, which is a little white. Okay. Then we have red velvet, which is a chocolate flavor, because if you know the truth, red velvet is actually just chocolate. All right. We have red vanilla. We have nuez, which is walnut, and that should be like a tan brown. Okay. Vanilla violet. Black cherry, which is black macarons. This is yellow vanilla, blue vanilla, and pistachio. Okay. So that's that. We're using banana today. So we're going to move it along. Okay. The next thing that's very important in your kitchen for these macarons is your oven. All right. Depending on where you're at, your altitude, your humidity levels, your temperature, everything plays a factor in macarons. All right. So here are some examples of some macarons that were baked. Okay, I wanted to show you some differences and what caused some of the differences. Okay. Mainly these. Okay. So if you see that your macaron has beautiful feet on one side, but then on the other side it goes down, it means that your oven has a heat spot. So these are actually, it was the last row that was along the edge of my oven towards the back. So my oven has a heat spot, and it raised over this side, but it didn't raise too close to the oven. Okay. And you can work with that. You can fix it. You just, it might take a couple batches for you to recognize where and why your issues are in your oven. Okay. If you see behind me, I have this oven. It's 2 ovens. Okay, 1, 2. I'm going to be baking on the bottom one because the bottom one is the convection oven. Now, because I have 2 ovens, my heat comes from the back. So get to know where your heat comes from. A lot of the ovens that have like broilers on the bottom, the heat comes from the bottom. So you want to put your macarons a little higher. Okay, but this one, the heat comes from the back and it heats forward. So it comes back there and heats forward. So what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be baking in the middle rack. And, I'm going to put my tray as closest to the door as possible. So, get to know your oven and then run from there. So this is a fairly new oven to me. We bought it like a couple months back. So I'm still getting to know it. The top one does not do convection. There is no fat on the top part. So the top part makes my cakes amazing. All right. So now when you want to top your macarons,
I don't know what that is.
it's farina.
Oh.
Okay, so you can decorate your macarons with sprinkles, or even like nonpareils. And I have some here that we're going to be using today for the bananas. I'm using black since, banana, like I guess like the brown little specks, I'm going to use like black. And then we have white nonpareils that are just regular. For the sprinkles, you want to go with the thinnest ones you can find. Okay? The thinner, the better. So in our shop, we're going to be introducing some extremely thin sprinkles, which are like these. If you see these.
Someone said, I heard that convection ovens don't do macarons well because the air pushes them.
Yes, that is true. However, I've been testing both of my ovens and they bake the best in the convection, if that answers. For my oven, they came out the best in convection oven. The top one, I was having way too many like temperature issues and timing issues where they weren't. Melissa, she's always on it. Okay. So I guess just practice and then just try it. A lot of the macarons that I was baking on the top one that did not have the convection oven were coming out extremely hollow. And what that means is like when you crack open your macarons, so they're supposed to be full in bread, if that makes, you see that, full in bread. Okay, versus I have one, I think that's extremely hollow that I baked also. No, this one is not. Okay. How about the overbaked one? Is that one hollow? Okay, so what hollow is just, there's many issues. So for example, this one. This one was baked on the top at the same time as I was baking other ones, and it came out hollow on the top. Okay?
What is the baking time?
Yeah, we're going to go through that right now. Give me a second, Maria. Okay. So, the sprinkles, try to go with the thinnest ones possible. We will be introducing some sprinkles in our online shop, which is petsicakes.com. This is the first time that you guys have seen or heard of me. But you know, it's universal. Non-perils, super easy to find. You can find them at Walmart. You know. Okay. So another very important tool that you.
Pilot, please.
Why?
Your thing's open.
Another very important tool is a thermometer. Okay. Here I have this one. It's a candy thermometer. It's been through me, through the grave and back. It's very, very convenient. You just have to be very careful that no water gets into the cap. So just be very careful with that. This one I purchased, I don't recall where, but it's also a candy thermometer. It has the little part in the back. However, I'm not using a lot of water and a lot of sugar today. So, you know, this doesn't really go as, it doesn't hold as good as it should, like, you know, versus a bigger pot. So if I was using like this pot, it'd be amazing, but I'm using a very, very tiny pot. And, or you can use a digital thermometer. I like to buy barbecue thermometers. They're, I have one that I'm going to be using right there. So these are meant for barbecue. They go in very high temperatures. Negra. So these work great. All right. Then we have white vinegar, clear white vinegar. This is just if you need it. If you feel more comfortable cleaning down your parts, you know, go ahead and use it. All right, we're gonna get started. Let me move some stuff around. As I mentioned earlier, I already weighed out my ingredients, so it doesn't, you know, prolong the video longer than it already has.
I don't know right now.
Okay, so here I have my almond flour and my powdered sugar. Now, when you weigh out your ingredients, you want to weigh out already sifted ingredients. For example, have the scale here, sift, and just whatever comes out to your 112 grams and 118 grams is what you need. If you get any rocks on the almond flour here, throw those out. They're too thick. They're going to ruin your consistency. Okay? So here I'm going to go ahead and sift the almond flour into... Mina, they should be on the table. Into my bowl where I'm going to be doing my macaronage. Okay. Now you can run the almond flour and the powdered sugar in how do I say it? I can't think of it. The food processor. I'm not going to do that today because I'm doing the Italian method. If I was using the French method, yes, most definitely I would run it through the food processor. Okay. So again, see these little rocks that come out? The stuff that stays behind? Check my jacket. I was wearing my jacket. Okay, just dump them. Okay, now we're gonna do the powdered sugar. Now, if you run your ingredients through the food processor, just make sure you don't pulse it too much, because then you're going to start releasing oils from your almond flour, natural oils that are in, you know, the almonds. Okay, so I'm just going to sift this in here. Okay, so this is ready. And then I'm just gonna mix them in together. Okay. So I'm gonna set this aside right here for now. And right here in my pot, for the egg whites, it calls for 90 grams of egg whites, but you divide those by 2. Okay, so you get 45 grams of egg whites in one bowl and 45 egg whites in the other. Okay, oh no, sorry. Oh, I almost did that. All right. So this one we're gonna save for the mixing bowl along with the cream of tartar. And then in this pot, we're gonna put the sugar and the water. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to bring this to a boil, and you want it to reach 244 degrees, okay, which is a soft ball. I'm going to put it back here. And this is the Italian method. Okay, then I'm going to, while that is heating up, in my stand mixer with a whisk attachment, which I'm going to bring closer, right here, we're going to add 1 portion of the egg whites. Okay. Now, 45 grams of egg whites is very little, and sometimes the whisk doesn't even touch it. So this is going to get a little loud. But just be patient with me. I'm sorry, I can't control the noise of the mixer. So because the mixer the whisk doesn't really touch the bottom of the bowl, I'm going to loosen one side of the bowl where it's going to be off the hinge, which is going to be this side, off the hinge a little, which brings the bowl up a tad bit and allows the whisk to touch it. Okay, so now we're going to go to number 2 only. Okay, so you're going to hear it clicking. What we want is the egg whites to get a nice little small foam. And it's barely touching it, so it's barely whipping it. You know, when you go around that way.
I'll take one more.
With that one, don't come behind me. Okay, so the other half of the 45 grams of egg whites we're going to apply into our powdered sugar and almond flour. And what we're doing here is we're going to start making a paste. And this is where you also add the flavoring because it's a powdered flavor. We're going to add it here. Okay, so now the paste is gonna turn whatever color your flavoring is, which is, it's fine. I can smell the banana. Okay. Here we are. I'm mixing it. It's starting to turn yellow. Let me do it like this. This part doesn't matter how you mix it, as long as you incorporate it and make a paste. My sugar is ready. Okay, it's not done, but I'm going to set it aside because my sugar is ready. My water is ready. So I'm going to raise the temperature of this because I need this to foam up. And then I'm going to show you where it's at right before we add the prima cotta, which is the agent. Because it's not hinged correctly. Okay, so you see that? It's just a very light foam, very, very, very light foam. It's like barely starting to foam up. Now I add the cream of tartar. Mix it together. And now I'm going to go down to a 6 on my KitchenAid. And this is where I'm going to add the sugar. The sugar you want it to go about right here into the mixing bowl and go in. You want to go at a lower speed. So I am going to drop it down to a 2 or 4 because you don't want the sugar to splatter out at you, okay? And now I'm at a 2. And this is the Italian method. You're naturally going to get splatters along the bowl. Don't be discouraged with that. It's fine. It's just going to happen. Okay, but you don't want to apply the sugar directly into the eggs because then you start cooking your eggs. Okay, now that all the sugar, the water sugar is in there, just raise the temperature. While that mixes, go ahead and continue making your cake. And there's my paste. All my dirty dishes. Want it to be between soft peak and peak stage. You don't need to have it extremely stiff, but this is too not enough. Like it needs more. So again, I can't really specify how much time it's going to take you because it all depends on your stand mixer as well as how many wires your wrist has and so on. Okay. The meringue is going to be shiny in color, very glossy, very pretty, and that's perfect because it was a syrup to say, like the sugar water, it makes it shiny. Okay. Sugar in general becomes very shiny. I can't see it. Okay. So that's about soft peak, which is fine. This is good because this is an Italian method. I can go a little bit more if I would like to. Okay. You don't want to. This is where you don't want to overmix because if you overmix, then you also get those hollow shells. Okay, and I'm going to show you how the sugar splatters in my bowl. Do you see the sugar along the sides and how it's splattered? Don't be afraid of that. Now that I'm going to start macaronaging, I'm going to set my temperature in my oven at 300. My oven does, how do I say it? Like it automatically regulates the temperature in there. So it's going to say a different number, but I did apply it to 300. Okay. So there we go. That's good. Okay. Got it? Everything good? All right. So now we're going to, for one, I'm going to get rid of all the mixture on here so I want it as much as possible in my bowl. Okay. And we're going to do this in 2 to 3 steps or stages in here. And this is where we start macaronaging. Okay. My sunroof is open? Why? I thought it was closed yesterday. Okay. So this part really doesn't, you can macaronage, you go down the center and go around. You just want to incorporate all the egg whites. You don't want to see any white in your mixture. Italian meringue macarons ideally don't need resting. However, you can let them rest about 30 minutes. You don't want to let them rest too long. An hour, that's enough. Like that's the most that you should let them rest. It's not like French meringue, and these do tend to have a shell on the top faster than the French method.
Did you answer what temperature do I take the sugar to?
244. The sugar, you're going to take it to 244. Okay, you can do this on a hand mixer. It's just going to take you a little longer, but you can. Anything else?
What are aged egg whites?
Oh, I explained that earlier.
She missed it.
Oh, you missed it? Yeah. We'll talk about it later in a bit. Give me a second because I'll start losing concentration. Okay, so again, once all the white is gone, because it's a banana flavor, this one is yellow. Okay? And I'm going to put the last of my egg whites. I'm trying to get all of them, you know. I'm not like extremely picky with this part. Oh, that's why I have parchment paper. So it's fine. I'm going to put this in the sink and give my hand a little rinse. Okay, my oven's ready. And now down the middle, turn, down the middle, turn. Now I'm going to give you guys a little secret of mine. I honestly, with the Italian method, I don't go to the ribbon 8 stage. I like it to be fairly thick. I found that that's the best way of getting the full shell. So if you look, you know, it is a little not perfect 8 shape, but I like it where it's shiny enough for me. It works for me. And this is where I'm going to stop and just start piping. Okay? Again, this is Italian method. If it was French, I'd be a little bit more, you know, tedious. Okay? Do we have any questions up until now?
What are aged egg whites?
I'll get that right now. Okay. You also want to have your pans, and then I have here some nets that I like to put my as they come out of the oven. I like to just put them in on here. Oh, let's move my Betty Crock, my Martin Stewart. So I like to have those ready. And then here I have my half sheet pans. And because I bought overgrown paper, I have to like somehow Mickey Mouse it. So I fold part of it. And then I just fold it to fit. Okay. I don't get very technical with this. It's just, you know, parchment paper. You know, it is what it is. All right. You also want to have, okay, I can't do this. I can't wing the sizes. I need templates. I made this my own template where I made them. It's not like very pretty. It's very sloppy. So I'm going to go in and fix it. I need it, but this was just a rush job. So I made this one, but I'm going to fix it. So if you guys want my template, just shoot me a message and I can email it to you. And I'm not going to go in every circle. I'm honestly going to go every other circle. But I'm going to fix it to where it's going to be like color coded for me and so on. Okay, so here I have my sheet pan. I'm getting the rest of my tools that I'm going to need. So here I have my piping bags. So this is one of, I think this is like what size is this? 24?
Maybe 20.
It's, huh?
Maybe 20.
20-inch piping bag. For these, I like to use the biggest piping bag that I can get my hands on. I'm going to clip the tip. And this one, I'm going to be using an 805 Ateco tip. Okay.
Someone said, please give the quantities and ingredients, please. I missed some of them.
Just message me and I can send you the recipe. I have it in an image form. I posted it, I think, yesterday. I don't even know if it's still on there. Or posted it on Sunday. It's gone already? Yeah. Just message me and I'll send you the image of the ingredients. Which is this. This is the image that you're going to get. Okay? So, try to put as much as possible in here. This part does tend to get a tad bit messy. But we're gonna go with the flow, right? It is what it is at this point. All right. You could turn it so it doesn't go down because it will start slipping out because this battery is it's like loose. And I'm only going to do a little bit of, I don't know if we're going to be able to bake everything with you. But at least till here. And this is the only thing I wanted to do with you guys today. I'm only going to do the shells. We're not going to do fillings. This was just a quick demo. Or, how long is it? 2-hour demo? What time is it?
12.
Okay. There we go. So, I'm going to turn it up. So, if you see, I have 3 pans here, and they're all ready, except for the templates. Okay? So again, I'm going to pipe. Also, when you pipe, you don't want to get all crazy. You want to stay in the same part. Wherever you start piping, you stay there, and then when you lift, you want to do like a swoosh, like a circle. Okay? So here we go. So I'm going to start. Once the batter gets to the template circle, I stop and I do like a swoosh going up. 1, 2, swoosh. Okay. I'm doing every other circle. I found that my template they were too close together and they started touching each other. So again, these are all just little things that I was doing. That I need to fix myself. Is Aaron in class?
He's in his final, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, if you're going to add sprinkles or some type of decoration on the top, this is where you're going to do it. You don't want to do it once you already let your batter rest or your shells rest, because once they have that shell created, the crust shell created, your sprinkles or what have you will not stick. They won't hold. Okay? I'm going to remove my template. Okay, so this is what they look like right now. I have to hold paper so it doesn't slide, right? But in order to remove the air, we need to slam it. You want to slam it all together. You don't want to do sections. You want to do it all together because then you start warping your macarons where they start leaning and so on. So you want to do it together, okay? And this is going to release some air bubbles. Some air bubbles are going to start popping. Okay, but if there is a problem where your macaron air bubbles are not popping and you visually see it, you can go in with the scribe. Here I have some scribes that were gifted to me, or a toothpick, whatever is best for you. However, your scribe, if you use your scribe, please make sure that the needle point is very thin. Okay, there is scribes I have seen that the tips are very thick, and what you're doing is you're damaging your item versus fixing it. Okay, these two were actually given to me. This one was given to me by a beautiful lady named Sandy, and this one was given to me by a beautiful lady named Martha. Okay. These two are my favorite because both of them are extremely thin and point, just like a toothpick. You don't want it to go thicker than the toothpick, so just be very picky when you purchase your $10, $12, $15 scribe. Okay. So again, all you're gonna do is if you see bubbles, just pop them. And then if you pop it, make sure you incorporate the batter together. Okay? The reason why is if you don't, you leave a crater. Okay? And that's good. Now I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes. Go on to my next one. Put my template into my parchment paper. Excuse me. Sneeze. Okay. You see how it starts leaking out because it's a very loose batter. Okay, however, it does hold its shape. Now, I'm going to give you guys another little secret. I'll do one ugly one so you guys can. That one's ugly. All right. So I'm going to do a couple ugly ones so that you guys, like, let's just say you guys are not good at the piping part. I'll show you how to fix that.
Can I see again what it looks like once mixed up to 2/5?
I'm sorry, what?
Or 225? I don't.
For this recipe, it takes about 3 sheet pans of every other circle on the template if you use my template. If you use another template, can we see again what it looks like once mixed up? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll show you right now. That's my deal. Okay, you want the batter to be shiny. I don't have any batter in my bowl. But you just want it to be shiny. You don't want it to be dull, or what have you. Okay, I'm gonna slam it. Okay, so if you get these nipples because your piping is just not there yet, or what have you, what you're gonna do is, where's the bottle of powdered sugar? Right here. Here's some powdered sugar. I got this from a show I worked on, so that's why it's okay.
Label.
This is powdered sugar. Okay, so with powdered sugar, just lightly touch your finger into the powdered sugar and then dab on the nipple. Okay? If it's not working, you might be able to use water also if it's not working. Okay? Now we're going to put some sprinkles on these. If you're not good at piping, hide it. Hide it with these little agents, you know, the non-perils, the sprinkles. Just hide it until you get good at it. You know, practice takes perfect. Did I say that wrong? Perfect is, I don't know, it takes practice. I don't know. Practice until you don't need to practice anymore. How about that?
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. That's what it was. Okay. Practice until you don't need to practice anymore.
Will you be saving this video?
Yes, we are going to be posting it. There's 3. I have it on 3 devices right now. I have it on my YouTube. I'm going to have it on my Instagram as well as my Facebook. Okay. So again, please Don't think that you watch this video and you're like, I can do that. No, please. Take my word for it. Buy enough to make at least 10 batches of this. Make 10 batches until you don't need to practice anymore. This method is a little easier than the French macarons because you don't need to like be so tedious in the macaronaging stage. You know, you can go a little under and it should be fine versus French, you can't. Okay, so on this one I put the nonpareils. And then with, okay, I also wanted to talk about some stuff. Okay, so here we go. These have, I'm holding the paper, that's all I'm doing. Some sprinkles or what have you. Okay. There is ways of Mickey Mousing your oven to where your temperature is fine, right? If you, most homes have one oven, just one oven. You can't, you know, use, you know, whatever. Okay. If you feel your oven is just way too hot and it's going way out of control, put another pan in here, bake it with another sheet pan underneath. Bake the two sheet pans together. What this does is heat will come into this sheet pan and then circulate in here because there is an air gap. It'll circulate in here and then heat this pan. Okay, so this will neutralize a little of your heat. Okay, if that's not working, flip this pan over flat and then put it in on here and bake that in the oven. Okay. What was another way? Also, depending on what you're baking your pans on, I mean your macarons on. I'm using parchment paper. I've been playing with macarons for quite some time now, and I found that the parchment paper baked the best for me. Okay, maybe not for you. Okay, there's other stuff. You can use shaped silicone mats. This one's a very paper thin silicone mat. You can use those. This one is a very thick silicone mat and it has shapes on here. Like you can't really see them, but there's circles, and then this one has hearts and triangles and egg shapes and diamonds. Or these that already have the things. Personally, I just like the parchment paper the most. So,
will that trick work on cupcakes also? I'm guessing
I'm sorry?
Will that trick work on cupcakes also? I think
the sheet pan? Oh yeah. It'll help on anything in your oven. If you're having issues with the temperature in your oven, you gotta play with it. All right, this should be my last one.
silicone mats never worked for me.
Who's that? Oh, that's Melissa.
I don't want to like butcher anybody's name. I don't know
Melissa.
names.
It's Melissa. She moved to Washington. We're gonna go visit her.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just about done. My batter is finishing up. Okay, done. I'm not gonna get all technical with that. Okay, what do I have to do? Slam it. But I'm gonna remove my templates first. Okay, so my oven is at 300 degrees, but remember what I said, my oven has like some type of something where it says 275, but inside it's 300, all right? Oh, toothpick flying. 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I see some air bubbles. Just gonna pop them. Pop them. Okay. So 30 minutes max. Now in the baking, you don't have to bake okay, again, let's do this. You have to try your oven. Okay, I found that in my oven, I have to bake it for 10 minutes, rotate it, and then bake for another 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the size of your macarons. Okay, these are 1.5 inch. Depending on the size of that you use. So for example, this one, like this mat, I'm gonna measure it. It's about 1.75 inches in size. These are 1.5 inch, but then like if you use these are 2 inches, okay? And then the little tiny one, you know, it all depends on you, you know, whatever you want to offer. This says 1 inch and 1.5, but those are bigger. Anyways, all right, so just depending on the size of the macaron that you're baking and also your oven, okay? So play with it. Start at 10 minutes, okay? Don't rotate your first batch to see if they bake straight through. Okay, again, my oven has a heat spot, so what I like to do is I tend to push my parchment paper all the way to one end and put this end against the fan, but this is all the way in here. So if I put it this one's not on, so I'm going to show you guys, for example. I put it at this edge and nothing back there, okay? This would be the middle and this would be far back, okay? But I put it right there, okay? I also have these little devices where they won't burn me, because I was starting to get way too many baker burns, and I found those at Marshall's. They got really ugly. Then I found new ones at Aldi. So if you're able to find some of these little tubes, purchase them. These little rubber silicone tubes, so you don't burn your arms when you're pulling things out or what have you. Okay. Now, so your oven at 300 for 15 to about 17 minutes. How do you know your macaron is done? Okay. Once the time has come, you're going to touch the macaron, the shell. If it moves, it's not done. Bake for another two minutes or so. Okay. If it doesn't move and it's just steady, go ahead and remove it. Okay. You do have to let your macaron cool completely before you start removing the macarons from the sheets, right? So as soon as my macarons come out of the oven, I slide the sheet over my little net rods, so that they can cool and don't continue baking on the heated sheet pan. Ideally, you should wait at least 24 hours before decorating.
They can't hear you. No audio.
I don't know what happened. It's been the same.
No one
Hi.
can hear you.
What happened?
I have no idea.
Everybody can't hear me. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. What does it say?
I just said we lost you. Yeah. We lost their sound. They can hear over there.
So this is okay.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
This is Facebook. This is YouTube. This is Instagram. Okay, so Instagram lost. How and why? Hello? Can you hear me now? I feel like that Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. All right.
But they can't hear you.
Yeah, but I have 2 other devices that I'm recording on, and then I can upload those on Instagram.
It stopped when you were talking about the Baker Burns.
Did I go too far, maybe? Okay. Ideally, you want your macarons to sit for 24 hours. Can you hear me? For 24 hours. And then decorate them. You can freeze. What does it say?
It says blink twice if you're being held against your will.
That's funny. Barbara's hilarious. Anything? Okay, Melissa came over here. Melissa, you can hear me over here on Facebook, right? Okay. If anything, I will save this video from Facebook and upload it into Instagram, if I'm allowed to. Okay. If not, I will post the link to the Facebook link. Because Facebook, I had no issues this whole time. All right. So I was saying is the shells, you can freeze them and store them and then use them again later in time. Ideally, you want them to rest for 24 hours before you start doing all the extra stuff that you want to do to them. So just be patient. You know, once they come out the oven, don't start trying to take them off the parchment paper because sometimes they will stay or adhesive to the paper, you know, and you'll just remove a shell. So just be very, very patient. Other than that, I think we're pretty much done. I will post pictures of the macarons once they're done, baked and out of the oven, because we don't want to continue not hearing me for the next 15, 20 minutes. But I, for one, thank you for allowing me in your daily routine for Tuesday. Please be patient. Practice, practice, practice. Try these at least 5, 6, 10 times. Now, I didn't say this at the beginning, but Italian method macarons do tend to be a little sweeter. So when you try them, be very cautious as you taste them, because if you're making 10 batches in one day, by the time you get your 10th batch, you probably have 3 copies. All right, so try it. If you like it, good. Try it again until you get the same method 3 times. Just be cautious that this method tends to be a tad bit sweeter than other methods. All right. This is also a gluten-free product because we're using almond flour. So you can, promote your item as gluten-free. It's not vegan because of the eggs, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's not, don't say it's vegan because you need huevos. All right. If you have any questions, please message me at appropriate times. I do like to sleep. But I thank you again. I thank you so much. Next Tuesday will be the 21st. I'm shooting to do a demo, but I am not 100% sure. My demo next week would be Christmas meringues with using icing images transfer sheets. That's the goal. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete that goal because it's Christmas week. The week of the 28th, which the following Tuesday, I will do a chat demo live with you. I will be out of town, but I will be able to do it from my hotel room. And also, all of January, I'm not able to do any hands-on. I'm trying to see if I can teach a class up north the weekend of the 16, 17, and 18, I believe. I'm trying to see if that's going to be possible, but if not, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to put these in the oven. Once they come out, I will take a picture and post them. Okay? Thank you so much.
You have a question. Is almond flour always look so grainy?
Yes, it does. Let me. Okay. I'm gonna pour some out here so you guys can see the difference. This one is Blue Diamond. And this one is the Aldi one.
They still can't hear you.
I know, I don't know what's going on. Should I go, you know what? End it and start it again. Because it already, you know what, okay. All right, give me 1 second, all right? Thank you so much.